What's up, cinephiles? My name is TJ and welcome to Cinemateq. It's time for us to take a look back at all of the news stories that interested me the most this past week. Starting off with something that came right out of left field. Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach are going to be co-writing the new Barbie film.
What?
The new Barbie film is set to star Margot Robbie, and when that news was initially announced, it didn't really register for me. It was like, okay, yeah, that's gonna be fun, but I wasn't looking forward to it. But now, my interest is piqued. Reports are that Gerwig is also in talks to direct the film, although that deal hasn't been closed, so that could change at any time. However, I have to say, having the director of Lady Bird direct Margot Robbie in a Barbie film is just too good. It's must see. We have to see this film soon.
Stop talking about studio movies. It's not what Cinemateq is about.
Now it's time to talk about Midsommar. It is getting a brand new Director's Cut release on August 17th in New York, and hopefully this time we will get to see more male nudity. The Ari Aster horror film was initially released on July the 3rd, and it's been doing pretty well for itself. The film clocked in at 2.5 hours upon release, and now with the additional footage being put back in, it will clock in close to 3 hours long. I know that might sound a little bit long for a horror film, but having seen the initial version, I can tell you that I am very excited to see all of the things that had to be taken out in order to give this film an R rating. Reports are that Ari Aster submitted a cut of the film that was initially given an NC-17 rating by the MPAA, and they had to remove that half an hour of footage in order to get it down to an R rating. I might have said this already, but if not, the re-release will be happening on August 17th, and from what we've read, it will only be happening at the Lincoln Center in New York. So if you happen to live in that city and you love the Lincoln Center like I do, head down there and see this version and let us know what it's all about, and let us know what they put back in. It better have been more male nudity. Moving on, Fox Searchlight has put Alexander Payne's student film The Passion of Martin on YouTube for you to watch for free right now. The Passion of Martin was Payne's student thesis film when he was getting his MFA at UCLA Film School. It then went on to screen at the 1991 iteration of the Cannes, yeah, that joke's back, Film Festival. The film was very well received at the Cannes Film Festival, and it led to him inking a deal with Universal Pictures. Now, for those of you who don't know Alexander Payne, he has directed such Hollywood films as Election, About Smith, Nebraska, and The Descendants.
Why won't you say downsizing?
I'm gonna take off my shoes.
We only care about award-winning films on this show.
Say downsizing or you're a coward.
We have no idea why Fox Searchlight has done this. It doesn't really matter, because having Alexander Payne's student thesis film on the internet free for everyone to watch, it's a great example about how we can use sites like YouTube to further democratize the study of film history, and also to just get a better idea of where these directors came from, where they started from. And I think that's a great thing. Moving on, there was a tragedy in Japan Thursday morning, local Japanese time. The well-regarded animation studio, Kyoto Animation, was attacked by a man who set the studio ablaze using flammable liquids. Reports are that the man ran into the studio, sprayed the flammable liquids all around, and lit the entire studio on fire. He was also reportedly quoted as saying, "You rip me off and die," as he was doing this. At last count, 33 people tragically perished in this incident, and on behalf of everyone at Cinemateq, we want to offer our condolences to the families and to everyone involved in this tragedy. And as a final note on this story, we have linked to an article about the incident below. There are newer reports about the incident that name the perpetrator, and we are not going to link to those because we have no wish to spread this man's name any further than it already has. Now, there is obviously no good way to segue from that last story into talking about movies that I really want to see based on their trailers, so we're just gonna go ahead and do our best. There were a lot of trailers released this week, and one of them especially caught my eye. The film is called Manos. The film was directed by Alejandro Landes, and at Sundance, it won the World Cinema Dramatic Special Jury Prize. Now, that's not really what drew me to this film. In this trailer, as you're watching it, there is some exceptional cinematography, breathtaking stuff. That would make me interested in this film automatically. But the thing that really drew me in was a quote. And you've seen these quotes in trailers before. The things that say, "non-stop thrill ride," and laughs from front to back. What else do they say in trailers?
It will shock you.
It will shock you.
true story that will bring you to tears.
Yes, none of these things were said or written down in the trailer for Manos. What was said is that the film is, quote, stunning at the scale of Apocalypse Now. That is a very specific thing to say about a film. That quote, of course, came from Polygon? Yes, the video game website thinks that this film is at the scale of Apocalypse Now and stunning. Did a little extra research on this and found that that quote came from Matt Patches at Polygon. This is me throwing down the gauntlet, Mr. Patches. If the film is not at the scale of Apocalypse Now, I will know for sure to never get film information from a video game website.
But you still go to IGN, right?
Of course. That's where I watched the Top Gun 2 trailer over and over and over again. The trailer for Manos was the only new trailer that came out that really caught my eye. But there were a couple of other ones that were surfaced to me by the beautiful YouTube algorithm that I just wanted to mention. The first of those was a Japanese animated film called Promare. And if you were to just watch the trailer for this film, you would think that the general pitch was, hey, no one has made a film with all of the colors, so why don't we just try to make a film with all of the colors? This film is so bright and so colorful, it's honestly hard to watch, and I'm really into it. The film is being made by the Trigger Animation Studio, who you may know as creating anime such as Kill la Kill. They definitely love a frenetic, highly kinetic style of animation, and so based on the trailer, I can only assume we're gonna get 90 minutes, 120 minutes of just non-stop craziness that's going to be edited together in a very YouTube-y way, and it's just gonna melt your brain, and yeah, I'm all in. I wanna see it. Moving on, we've got the trailer for, wait, Luz?
Can I guess? Can I guess?
Yeah.
Cats!
No! Moving on, the film Luz. This one looks like it was made specifically for me. It looks like it came right out of the 70s, 80s era of exploitation films. It's got demons and practical effects and people attempting to drive cars even though they're just sitting in a normal chair. It's everything that I could ever want out of a film. I also love the fact that they put a little bit of a fake film grain on there, but they make it look pretty authentic. It's not like you're watching those Tarantino Grindhouse films and they try to digitally enhance it in that way. This looks legit, and I love it. I can't wait to see this film. I can't wait to discuss it with all of you. And with that said, let's carry on the discussion. Get in those comments. Let us know what you thought about all of the news stories that we talked about today, the trailers that we talked about. Which trailers did you see this week that really piqued your interest? If you like this video, let us know by clicking that thumbs up button. And if you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. This is all cut up and weird. I feel like I've done this in a very haphazard way, and I have, so we'll see how it turns out in the edit. See you next time.